You're listening to DraftKings Network.
George Clooney and Brad Pitt's new movie, Wolves, is on Apple TV Plus September 27th.
That's where I want you to be now.
So if you want to see George Clooney and Brad Pitt, go to Apple TV Plus.
You got to start the story there.
Or if you want to see Brad Pitt and George Clooney, go to Apple TV Plus.
I am enjoying the show.
And if you want to see their new movie, Wolves,
You can't do it, I'm going to help you out. I can do it, so do it.
definitely go to Apple TV Plus.
Admit it, it's cool. Okay, fine, it was very cool.
Wolves, streaming September 27th on Apple TV Plus. Rated R.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB the CV. Copyright 2024. Proximo. Jersey City, New Jersey. Please drink responsibly.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadowing it.
Stugotz just came through here with a single piece of bacon in his right hand. He walks around without putting it on a plate or anything, without having a napkin. I don't see him get a napkin afterward either. And then he immediately said to everybody, quick heater, I'll be right back. Billy, however, got right in his seat because it's a bit of a fire drill. They got to get God Bless Football out. It's the morning takes. Billy, how did it go this morning? Because I am hearing that you were more upset this weekend about the Dolphins than anyone has seen you in a while. That
Really?
They really triggered a good amount of passion in you. Is that on display in God Bless Football?
You might like this, and I don't know that the fans of God Bless Football like this. I for the first time, and I feel like you're going to be happy, and this is a terrible sell. I, for the first time, was like, I don't want to do Dolphins on God Bless Football. Like, I need to save some of this because what's going to happen is we'll do 40 minutes of me just getting mad at the Dolphins, and it will be an unlistenable episode. And then once we get to, like, this show, I'll have already done all the Dolphins stuff. So I held back this morning on some of the Dolphins
So
stuff.
you're embargoing the unlistenable stuff for us?
No, not unlistenable stuff.
boy.
I'm just no.
What up?
No, you're not understanding. No. I'm saving the good stuff for you, which Stugotz didn't like, but I'm saving some of the Dolphins' good stuff for you. But the way that I view it is that we do like a local hour here, so we're going to talk a lot of Dolphins. On God Bless Football, we try to cover all of the games, right? Even some of the games that people don't care about, because someone out there, in theory, might care about it. So we try not to make it too Dolphin-centric. Also, I do it with two Jets fans, so it becomes a Jets show the entire time.
So I'm getting the bad stuff.
No, you didn't get. You were there. What's going on right now?
This is what he wants. This is what he wants, Billy. He wants to ride the unicorn in the sky so he could just sit there for 40 minutes listening to you and then go smoke his heater. Like, he wants you to give him the good Dolphin stuff so that he could just sit there and not have to work as hard. You're the magical unicorn farting dolphin rage.
Huh.
And it soars into the sky. It flutters into the sky. It has great value. What we have today that most shows in America do not have is we've got a Mike Ryan who has helped build the University of Miami program into the juggernaut it is today. First 4 games as strong as any 4 they've ever produced to start a season.
Yeah.
And we've got Billy furious at the Dolphins because, Chris, tell me I'm wrong. Roy, tell me I'm wrong. It feels, and this is poison 3 weeks into the season, like you are on flimsy terrain on having your entire season.
It's over already.
Season ruined trying to get to the concussed quarterback possibly being available in 5 weeks with your season intact in some way, with something to play for. Because what happened yesterday, everybody saw this. The betting money came in on, well, the system and Tyreek will be able to get 17 points in Seattle, right?
Is that guy even on the team anymore? Where the hell has Tyreek Hill been? Where has he been?
Right.
What the hell is going on with fans in this market? They're starting to turn on Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, hot seat for him. Hot seat for him. This guy is a genius. And by the way, as a fan base, as a community, a city,
why do you go by the way before you ever get to the original point?
Because I made the first one in my head already, and I've moved on to the second one. By the way, here's the thing, because we're going to get back to Mike McDaniel, genius, in a moment. everybody says Tua's so bad, you can't give him the max money. This guy's not a good quarterback. And every time he's not playing, this team completely falls apart. Now, we're ignoring how bad he was against the Bills pre-concussion. Forget about that, because that doesn't help the argument. But every time he's out, we see how bad this team is. And this is a construction issue, my friend. This is an issue with construction.
Standing up again?
Yes, because here's what happened.
Save it for the show.
I'm glad he's doing it here.
By the way, and here's the thing, to start a thought, both of them.
It's Monday. We're an hour in.
I mean, they got the Titans and Patriots coming up next.
That's right.
Don't fall for it.
The schedule looks nice.
Don't fall for it.
Next few weeks.
Don't fall for it. False promises.
All those teams are thinking the same thing.
Don't fall
about the
for
Dolphins.
this, guys. Don't fall for this. Take these wins, but you can't let them off the hook. Keep this team accountable. Keep this coach accountable. Chris Greer, I'm watching you.
Oh, no.
He's got an eye on him.
You might be next.
Yes.
What?
You might be next, Greer.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by DraftKings. Stay tuned because you'll hear more about DraftKings and all it has to offer throughout the show. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
I want to do the whole league, Stugotz. I want to talk on a football Monday about all of the things that happened yesterday. But I also want to ride the bucking bronco that is Billy Gil into the sky, because it feels like the Dolphins season was ruined yesterday because, and I don't mean to be apocalyptic about this, but it could feel pretty hopeless to go to Seattle, look like the worst team in the league, and worse than that, wait a minute, for the first time, the local people had celebrated the idea that they might have offense. Oh, it doesn't travel when you got to do it with the backup quarterback in a league where you can't get good quarterback play from the good quarterback. So as soon as you get to the bad quarterbacks in week 3, your season's going to limp toward week 7.
Unless your bad quarterback is Andy Dalton. I mean, how about that? I mean, the red rifle.
Well, that was one of the more interesting things about yesterday. That's a long, painful season, and if you start 0-2, those teams, they don't really want to have their season ruined at 0-3. So the 0-2 teams all of a sudden win in Tampa, and Carolina goes to the Raiders. Explain that. Like, honestly, I know it's just red rifle. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
The Raiders win at the Ravens.
Right.
And then they go home and they get crushed by Andy Dalton on the road, an offense that hadn't scored points in the first quarter all season until Dalton gets in there, and then they go right down the field.
Football. I mean, seriously. Think about the undefeated, and I'm sorry, I said this already on God Bless Football, but it's funny. The undefeated quarterbacks through 3 weeks in the NFL. I mean, it's Geno Smith. It is Sam Darnold. It is Justin Fields. It is Patrick Mahomes. It is Josh Allen.
Do you have that recycling truck?
Andy Dalton.
I don't want his recycled God Bless Football stuff here. I want God Bless Football to be a fresh entity that has its own material. I don't want reheated leftovers from Stugotz. Yes, thank you.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
And Billy, I need your help here to keep him honest, because he won't do that very often, what he just did, where he calls himself on making the first point of this show the point he's already made on God Bless Football.
Well, it's just a larger point of we know nothing about this sport. We think we do every single year. You don't. I do. Most people do, and we know nothing.
I don't understand sometimes what happens week to week in that sport. I don't think a lot of people had Minnesota being great, and now they'll do Flores, O'Connell, Darnold, but they appear to. 2 years ago, the Vikings were, what was it, 12-5, 13-4, and it was all one-score wins. It was a mirage. Nobody believed that was anything. They're throttling people. Like, it's not just Sam Darnold's pretty good. It's if they blitz you with Flores, you can't do anything. That's C.J. Stroud that's C.J. Stroud and those skill guys who looked like they couldn't do anything on first and second down.
Everyone wants to talk about Darnold, but I agree with you. I mean, Brian Flores, say what you want about him and how he handled Tua, that dude can coach defense. Anywhere he goes, that defense is good.
They've given up 30 points in 3 games. They're good.
I saw a lot of people saying with Brian Flores, and man, this happens fast in that league, to Mike McDaniel. A whole bunch of people were looking to join that class action suit with Brian Flores yesterday.
I mean, it is interesting that the Mike McDaniel thing, I'm not turning on him, but he gets compared to Kyle Shanahan. Whenever Kyle Shanahan has lost his quarterback, the next quarterback comes in and you're amazed that, wow, this offense still kind of seems to run. Without Tua, the Mike McDaniel offense, maybe they've just had really bad quarterbacks. Maybe C.J. Beathard, who Kyle Shanahan has had, is better than Skylar Thompson. It's just, I don't know. For the Mike McDaniel genius, we got to see a little bit more. I get it. You need the quarterback. But show me a little bit more with the backup quarterback.
We are not at the point that we're longing for C.J. Beathard.
No, I'm just saying.
That's not what this is supposed to be.
If this offense is such a well-oiled machine, if McDaniel's running that Kyle Shanahan offense, why does that offense look better with backup quarterbacks than this one does? It's going to turn.
It's turning already. It's turning. That's it.
But
it's
this
week
is a
3.
construction
it's done.
problem. I don't understand how they keep finding themselves in this position. This is a Dolphins construction problem that we figured out 3 years ago. Right? Or 2 seasons ago. When Tua went down, the plan was Teddy Bridgewater. And then he went down, and then we had Skylar Thompson, and you learned Skylar Thompson wasn't good enough. And you could say he almost beat the Bills in Buffalo in a playoff game. But he didn't. And you learned that's not enough if you lose your starting quarterback. So what do? They go out and they bring in Mike White. And then Tua doesn't get hurt last year. And then they said, you know what? Mike White, we don't want to pay you. So if something happens, we have Skylar Thompson. He beat you out for the job. And yet again, we're learning Skylar Thompson is not good enough if Tua goes down. And then there's no backup plan. Tim Boyle is the plan if something happens to Skylar Thompson, who himself wasn't good enough. And obviously this is Monday Morning Quarterback, but you see the quarterbacks that are out there thriving, right? And if this system is so great and anyone can just fit in this system, which is what everybody tells us, Tua's not good enough, you just plug in the right quarterback and it can work. Sam Darnold looks like the MVP of the league right now. You couldn't get someone like a Sam Darnold to be a serviceable backup when you know that Skylar Thompson wasn't good enough. There was no plan for Tua going down, which I don't understand because he has the injury history. There's always that fear with him. Last year, he was clean the entire season, so you assume he's never going to get hurt again, and Skylar Thompson's the backup plan?
All of your criticism is going to be echoed by all of South Florida today. The only place I would pause and tell you, hold on just a second, is that he did beat out Mike White, and that Bills playoff game you were talking about, if it's this hard to play quarterback in that league for the good quarterbacks, they look like they stink. The ones who don't get reps are going to need a minute. You've seen what training camp has done to everybody else. I don't believe in Skylar Thompson either, but first game, when you haven't been the one getting all the reps, don't tell me you can go to Buffalo and put up 35 points with that offense, and you can go to Seattle and not have anything for offense, and the difference between those two players at quarterback is reps. It's the same player. But one of them is getting a month of preparation and the other one's getting a week.
But you know he's not good enough from the time that he was quarterback. You knew that's not enough to win a playoff game. You knew that.
Okay, but the man making the assessment on that, you trusted 2 weeks ago to make those assessments. Shanahan made that assessment on Brock Purdy. Do you trust your coach or don't you?
I don't. I don't trust my coach because he's shown that he can't do things without Tua. Has he not? What has he done without Tua?
Here, nothing. Here, the closest they've come was to losing a playoff game in Buffalo.
I mean, it is fair criticism to say, hey, you have this quarterback, he's signed, you believe in him, we get that, but he's also prone to injury, right? So you might want to have a better backup. It's what the Jet fans went through last year when Aaron went down.
I know, Stugotz, and I don't want to do the backup quarterback show just because what I'm telling you when I say, well, do you trust him, or is your trust so flimsy that it loses one time at Seattle and you're like, no, it doesn't know what he's doing in terms of quarterback selection? Because it seemed to me like you trusted him the last 2 seasons to be able to do offensive evaluation.
But it's not one time, right? It's been every time Tua's gone out, the season has somewhat fallen apart, right? And if you look at the schedule, the Dolphins have winnable games coming up. They have the Titans, they have the Patriots, they have the Colts, the Cardinals you don't really know, and then they have the Bills. So you very well could get back up to 500 here, right, with the Dolphins, and then convince yourself okay, things are fine. Skylar Thompson is fine. He just needed some reps, and it's because you're going up against bad teams.
Am I crazy for thinking that they already admitted that they know that the room is not good enough? They could have signed somebody that was just a player to put in that room. They signed Tyler Huntley. And look, Tim Boyle has never been a good quarterback at any level of football. He's never shown you anything.
It's an amazing stat line for Tim Boyle. His entire career, he's never been good at quarterback.
I'm fairly certain that once Huntley gets the playbook, because he's been here for about 5 minutes, he's going to climb up that depth chart. I don't think that there's a person that evaluates in the NFL that would tell you, maybe outside of the staff because he's just more familiar with the offense, but from a talent level, Skylar Thompson is not considered better than Tyler Huntley. I do think that they've already admitted to the world that they need to get better at that position.
But Billy's point, though, when he talks about structural, is you could have had Huntley long before now. You could have gotten him whatever reps it is. But I really don't want to do the backup quarterback show because I do think that what we're thinking when they sign Huntley to the practice squad is, oh, how fun, an athletic quarterback to go along with those skill guys. What happened to the Dolphins yesterday in Seattle was a betting line surprise because everybody thought McDaniel was going to be able to travel. All the games are close. It's every game is going to have Atlanta throwing into the end zone against the Chiefs at the end because they're all protecting the football and trying to throw for 200 yards. You got Dallas as a total finesse team. They can't run the ball, can't stop the run, and Jerry Jones spends the whole offseason putting money into the offensive and defensive lines and telling CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott to hold on. And they can't stop the run, and they can't run the football because of what it is that training camp has done to these people, because we're still sort of in reps mode on the first 3 seasons, and we're attaching stakes to it because you guys know that Myles Garrett yesterday is playing, and they're already saying, they're like, he's got 2 bad feet. But he says he's going to wait until the end of the season to handle it. That's a long time from now. Yes, he's going to take surgery 15 games from now. The idea that injuries get built into the structure of what it is that you've built, and Tua gets hurt, we can talk all you want. They have no answer for that amount of their payroll going away. All you're trying to do is like win 2 of the 4 games, 2 of the 5 games, 2 of the 6 games. Right. You're just trying to get the season to matter halfway through because you don't want everybody limping through this shit before he gets back. But think about what you're counting on. You're counting on a guy who's visiting neurologists. Like you don't.
Well, that's Billy's point, Dan. Why not have Joe Flacco? Why not get Russell Wilson? Why not inquire about one of those guys? Jimmy G. In the event that Tua goes down, you have a backup so you don't have to miss a beat potentially.
They tried that the previous year, and their salary cap situation is such that they took a gamble and said, we don't want to commit millions of dollars at a backup position because we want to allocate that money elsewhere. And they lost the gamble.
The spending in this sport is interesting, Stugotz, because CeeDee Lamb, you see what's happening with the Cowboys, right? They're already visibly frustrated. They were fighting over money all offseason, and Jerry Jones is saying after the game, in that sport, Stugotz, you need it to be physical. He's saying we couldn't afford Derrick Henry. That's a running game that makes you physical upon landing. Yesterday, he had 12 broken tackles for an extra 45 yards.
He was great.
Because they weren't going to be 0-2, or 0-3 rather. The Ravens start 0-2, they're not going to be 0-3. Carolina start. Do you know how much of a misery that season is if the first 3 games in you lose all of them and your body physically hurts? I don't think there was a bigger factor in what happened yesterday. Denver going and getting 7 sacks of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, Bo Nix.
That was the most football thing yesterday. When they get out to a 14-0 league, you're like, this is not how this
Carolina
is supposed to go.
was the most football thing yesterday.
Well, Tampa's been great the first 2 weeks, and it's just like it was just 14-0 before you could even blink.
The spread, the Raiders had a 5.5 point spread. The Bucs had a 6 point spread. All the games in that sport, that's where the numbers are going to be, and all of the people getting points like that. The Giants win outright at Cleveland because that Deshaun Watson situation is a disaster, man.
Big spreads are 11. Like I think it's if you're +6 or higher so far this season, you're 11-1 against the spread, 7-5 straight up. Teams that are +6 or higher.
You know who keeps winning? Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, 3-0. The Steelers.
Hello, universe. It's Cynthia from the Dan Batard Show with Stugotz. Let's be real. Stress is everywhere. I mean, what are my stressors? I don't know. Maybe Dan texted me at 3 a.m. to order him a costume that he needs tomorrow. But what if the secret to managing all this stress is Magnesium Breakthrough by Bioptimizers. This is a one-of-a-kind product. It's designed to reverse low levels of magnesium, which could be causing a multitude of other health problems. What sets Magnesium Breakthrough apart, it's its ability to maintain healthy stress hormones, balancing your nervous and hormonal systems, and boost the neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation and flow. In other words, it's like hitting the brakes on my body's stress response, helping me feel calmer and improving my quality of life. It's the only organic, full-spectrum magnesium supplement that provides all 7 essential forms of magnesium to help you truly manage stress and improve your sleep. Don't miss out on the most relaxing sleep ever with Magnesium Breakthrough. For an exclusive offer, go to buyoptimizers.com/Dan and use promo code Dan during checkout to save 10% off. And if you subscribe, not only will you get this amazing discount and free gifts, but you will also make sure your monthly supply is guaranteed.
Dan Le Batard.
We didn't get to your guys' against the spread.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't have it against the spread because I wasn't prepared for this segment.
You need an Ian in your life.
You have actively played defense against me today in a way that has rarely been this undercutting.
Stugotz.
Defense wins championships, baby. That's show business.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I want to go to Deshaun Watson, though, Mike, because
That's it. We've let the Dolphins off the hook. They're fine. Oh, we don't.
We'll get back
to
to
with
them.
All of these offensive pieces that they had that were supposed to be so great. Where is Tyreek Hill? Where has he been?
You mentioned that. You mentioned
upset.
What is he doing?
You wanted this.
Where is Tyreek Hill?
Where is Tyreek Hill?
That question.
Okay, I'm sorry. Here, let's go over Tyreek Hill's game logs. 7 receptions, 12 targets, 130 yards in week 1. An 80-yard touchdown accounted for the majority of those, but he only had 12 targets, which is, that's fine.
12 is a lot of targets.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Only.
Week 2, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 24 yards. Week 3, 5 targets, 3 receptions, 40 yards. Why are we not throwing to him? And if he's being double covered, you can't get to him. Where's Jalen Waddle? Where's Jonnu Smith? Odell Beckham. Can you go play?
Where's Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce has
3-0.
Travis Kelce has had plays called back because of penalties, if we're going to be fair. He's had 40-yard receptions called back because of penalties. Okay. So, if we're going to play the game log, then we can look at it and see the games that the plays didn't count.
They called a penalty against the Chiefs? That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah. They got away with a pass interference in the end zone yesterday that I don't know how they got away with.
I'm so bothered. Remember the one time that franchise and Patrick Mahomes felt wronged by the refs? All the complaining, the biggest crybabies on the friggin' planet.
Thank you.
They've got 2 wins now because the refs just have given them the benefit of the whistle. That's it. That goes to show you the power of Patrick Mahomes in this league. Guy acts totally unprofessionally, such an outsized reaction to the officials, giving them one obstacle, and he didn't shut up about it. And ever since then, they've been the most ref-friendly team in the league. The refs love the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is crazy. What Mike is saying, and what Stugotz got dangerously close to being thrown in the penalty box for agreeing with, giving Mike a thank you on Chiefs Talk, is I don't believe across sports in the last few years that we've had a bigger crybaby display than the one the Chiefs put on when they lost a game for a call.
And it was the right call. The dude was offside. Everybody was just like, you just can't do that in that spot.
Nah, that wasn't offside.
He was offside.
They
drew a line. He was offside. And we allowed them to ask like this.
Wasn't it Kadarius Toney or was something
else? Yeah, it was Kadarius Toney. Yeah. We just allowed them to act like that because everyone's like, well, I guess.
No, we didn't allow them. No, look, I cannot remember in the last 5 years of Chief dominant football, and God almighty, Stugotz, I hate that this sport has now turned Patrick Mahomes into 5 yards per attempt guy.
I know.
I can't tell you how much I dislike that that's happened. And
you know what's also super annoying to me, though, Dan? It's like every time the defense finally catches up to the offenses in this league, offenses that you wax poetic for almost a decade on end in this league. The second that the defenses catch up, Mel Kiper's saying take away the 2 high safeties. Yeah. We can't allow the defense to actually play their side of the game. We can't allow it. No, it's unfair. We can't have Patrick Mahomes going 5 yards per attempt. A little credit to the defense. What happened to Tyreek Hill? He ran into one of the game's most brilliant defensive minds. That's what happened.
Okay, and you're not wrong about anything you're saying, except I'm coming at this simply as a customer who wants his Sunday entertainment to be fun. And I don't want great, majestic talents who have mastered the game reduced to 209 yards passing on 24 of 29 with an interception and a fumble because the defense is so good that he's going to have to settle for 22 points when I always thought that offense was going to go 30. Because 4 years ago, he was going 9 yards per attempt. It was twice as much yardage because he had Tyreek Hill. I don't like that kind of football, and it's a plague throughout the sport. Like, as soon as
a plague. Dude, you wanna say how great and majestic Patrick Mahomes is at playing the sport, but Harrison Smith is not entitled to play his sport as brilliantly.
Yep.
No. Sorry, right. You can't be good at your job. Mm-hmm. This guy can be.
You can celebrate defense all you want. I prefer offense, and I'm allowed.
You've had plenty of offense over the last 3 or 4 years. I mean, a good defensive struggle. I've been telling you forever. It's fun.
I mean, you had all the rules, and now you're upset that they figured it out.
Saints game yesterday. No,
great
no,
game.
Thank you.
15-12. Oh yeah,
that was a doozy.
Football. That's football.
Yeah,
that's football.
Look, I'm not gonna BS you, Dan. I'm laying on my couch wishing that the games were a little bit more fun too. But am I gonna take away? I'm fine sacrificing my fun to watch these brilliant defensive minds and these great defensive players finally figure out something that seemed impossible to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can't just say let's change this sport because they got too good at it.
Well, first of all, they do that all the time.
We can only do that with Wembanyama.
Right.
They do it all the time throughout sports.
But why can't Spags be great? Huh?
He is great.
I know.
Nobody is disputing.
Acknowledge it. MVP.
Be careful with the Chiefs stuff.
Yes, please be careful.
Something's off.
Yes.
It's his hair color.
I just, for me, and I regret that I didn't start with college football today because I'm just not that interested in that Broncos-Bucks game, even if it's the biggest surprise in the sport. It's not an aesthetically pleasing thing that I'm watching. I'd prefer to watch the offensive players be great than the defensive players, although I, too, am amazed that nobody can block T.J. Watt. That T.J. Watt is 3-0. They might as well have T.J. Watt at quarterback. They might as well just snap him the ball because it's not just that team is 3-0. It's that in the fourth quarter, they're going to ground you to dust. Like that Justin Herbert, if you limp into that game, they are going to go ahead and hurt the rest of your body the remainder of the game, and in the fourth quarter, your team is just going to pack it up and be like, yep, we lost by 10. We can only score 10 points. We got them early. And we wouldn't score again because how can no one block T.J. Watt? How is T.J. Watt the best member at football in his family? How is that possible?
Mm-hmm. And people ask you, hey, what's the matter? Well, we play Tomlin.
Yes. But I want to talk a little bit of college football, though, because I thought the big story of the weekend, bigger than a Colorado Hail Mary, bigger than Mike Ryan's Hurricanes buying their way to the top of the game with like the Tennessees and the Texases, because
they're all buying their way now, though.
But their offense is elite. Their quarterback is elite, even if they haven't played anybody. But before we get to that, I thought the biggest story of the college football weekend and the happiest I saw anyone on Greg Cody's 70th birthday party boat was the way that FIU football lost to Monmouth with Billy broadcasting the game.
Who was happy about this?
Well, I'll tell you in a second, because Meadowlark Media, as you know, is a place where people don't seem to root for each other. They seem to derive joy from the failure of others. I've never seen Taylor as happy as he was on Greg Cody's boat when he...
was Taylor on that boat?
When he wandered around telling everybody, did you see how FIU lost at the end? Here's Steve Goldstein on the call, Stugotz. Now, the situation is this. There are 43 seconds left in the game. It's an offensive game. The Panthers have a 2nd and 1. They're down 3 to Monmouth. It's 45-42. They're in field goal range, easy field goal range, and 2nd and 1 makes this. So they are nearly guaranteed to tie this football game at the very least, and certainly can win it here because of the offense in the game. But here's what happens at the 1-yard line.
Normally rotate, but without wide receiver 1, left guard 1. Jenkins throws. He's got Rivers over the middle, complete. Breaks a tackle at the 10. Bounces it outside at the 5. Rivers trying to get in the end zone. Taken down.
Lost the ball.
And it's a fumble. Monmouth thinks they have it at the goal line. And they do.
Oh, no.
Wow.
That guy with the fanny pack.
For the audio audience there, the runner catches the ball around the 10, is getting his way to and gets up to the goal line, and then just gets kind of spun around, and then you see a bunch of players, and he loses the ball. They fumble at the 1-yard line down 3.
It looked, momentum and weight suggested that he's going to fall into the end zone with the football, and they're going to have the lead with 32 seconds left. But instead, he fumbles at the 1-yard line, and then Greg Cody's party got off the ground. Because Taylor was telling everybody who would listen, he was introducing himself to strangers, telling anyone who would listen, did you see how it is that FIU lost the football game?
Was anyone listening?
I got to be honest with you. It seems like it was a sad party. Seems like it was a sad party. And I felt bad for Greg. I don't know if it's, a consequence of getting to 70 that your friends become Taylor and your vote, all of a sudden this boat was like VIP, you couldn't get invited. And then I saw every Tom, Dick, and Harry in this office was at that party. And I was like, wow, Greg really doesn't have any friends, huh?
Well, we got some no's in the office.
I mean,
so
just reach out to like cousins, second cousins, anyone else. But
there's like 100 people there. Why is Greg Cody
Taylor's
catching
there.
strays because of FIU? Jeez,
right.
lashing out. Greg
No,
Cody.
it's not Greg. I'm just saying. I saw some of the photos and videos of this thing. Ooh, how did this person get invited to this boat party? And Taylor's there. Taylor, by the way, is dead to me. I'm just gonna say that right now. Taylor is dead to me, and we may be coworkers, but I will not be working with him moving forward because I extended an invite for him to cover this game, get video for the company of me covering this game. I was on the call for this game, and he said, I'll do a Tuesday game. You're not invited to a Tuesday game, bud, and I'll make sure you're never invited to the cage ever again. Whatever minor strings I have, I will make sure I flex to ban you from Pitbull Stadium so that you never go there. I will talk to whoever I need to make sure you're not allowed at Pitbull Stadium ever again. Taylor Rippolis.
Can you do the same for me?
His coach quit on his team after the game because he didn't want to deal with the Taylors of the world anymore.
When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they have made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So, if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Dan Le Batard.
I may take it one step further.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
You're getting sexier by the moment.
Slow down. We haven't even gotten
Stugotz.
I'm gonna
Jason Sanders, you're on notice.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
One in spite of him.
Oh, wow.
I love you, Duke. This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Do you have anything for Jason Sanders on God Bless Football?
No, I don't think I said anything about him, that guy.
Wasn't his fault.
Oh.
I mean, he missed another.
Listen, someone needs to step it up. When the starting QB goes down, someone needs to step it up, and it's not the field goal kicker missing kicks again. 57-yarder obviously is no gimme. Unless you play for the Cowboys, then you can kick the ball from 75 yards.
Justin Tucker, suddenly the worst in the league from 50 yards.
3 weeks in a row, he's missed a kick. I'm Father Time. That one we mentioned. You get back up there. Yeah, Father Time undefeated. He was one of our big losers in Winners or Losers, presented by Smirnoff, the world's #1 vodka. And Winners and Losers, yeah.
Stugotz, I feel like I know that the way that you and Chris Cody bet, okay? I don't believe that you can stay away from Bucks -6 against Denver.
Yeah.
That you take the
Pounded
Bucks.
it. Yeah.
That you take the Bucks. I believe that you see Giants against Cleveland at home, and you take Cleveland -6.5.
I did not yesterday, but normally I would. You're right. Yes.
I feel like I can find the games where Chris and Stugotz are going to bet, oh, I love this favorite to win the way Seattle did yesterday. But when I tell you, do you have the stomach to go what would be obvious tonight, which is none of you think Jacksonville's going to stay within 5 points of Buffalo, but they're 0-2. Are you brave enough to play against the Bills and take Jacksonville +5 just because football games are close and these 0-2 teams are desperate not to start 0-3?
I am not brave enough. I will be pounding the Buffalo Bills tonight. That is, Dan, -5 at home against an 0-2 team.
But did you hear the numbers that Chris just gave you on? If you're getting points in this league now, you're feeling good about everything. You're doing what. When you look at what happened in the Minnesota game yesterday, I know what we're all doing there. I know how the betting money comes in on Houston, and it's believing that what you've seen of Sam Darnold all your life is you know who Sam Darnold is.
Yeah.
But you don't know who Sam Darnold is.
I don't know anything anymore.
It's a disaster that he has an MRI today, because I don't think they could just do that with any quarterback. But they are presently doing it with someone I thought was just any quarterback. Billy, Jason Sanders missing kicks.
I feel like, and look, I don't want anyone to lose their job. And I'm not saying that in normal circumstances, a week 3 57-yard field goal miss would necessitate you losing your job. However, this team right now may be at sacrificial lamb time.
Whoa!
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Whoa!
I think that something needs to happen to shake up this team, and it may be releasing your kicker. And again, I'm not rooting for that. I know that people look. There are a few times that people on this earth think about Billy Gil, and for whatever reason, one of those times is every time Jason Sanders misses a field goal. It's like everyone reaches out to me and is like, what is he going to say? What's going to happen here? They start tweeting, did you see what happened to Jason Sanders? And it's like, look, I'm not rooting for Jason Sanders' downfall. I'm not hoping he misses kicks. It's counterintuitive for me to be rooting for him to miss kicks because it hurts me directly if he misses kicks.
Put it on the poll, please, at Batard Show. Would you sacrifice a lamb if your team was 0-2 or 1-2?
You need to do something to shake things up right now. They're not clicking on all cylinders. They're only clicking on some cylinders.
But a lamb, would you be personally willing to sacrifice the lamb?
How many lambs do I have?
Lamb chops do sound good right now.
I don't know whether any of you would be hunter enough or outdoorsman enough to actually care about your football team enough to sacrifice the lamb yourself.
Us?
Yes, any of you. There are people in our audience. There are hunters and outdoorsmen.
When you sacrifice a lamb, can you use the parts?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's not a total loss.
No, but I'm asking you if you would sacrifice an actual lamb. You sound very mad today. You really did just fire Jason Sanders.
I did not do that.
If you make him a sacrificial lamb, you're telling him he's not on the team anymore.
I said it might be time. I don't make these decisions. Chris Greer makes these
You're
decisions.
the only one
and
who
we
makes
all know
these
Chris
decisions.
Greer doesn't make the
your
best
words.
decisions.
Right.
What?
The choice of your words is you are saying sacrificial lamb
Something
time.
has to change. Does something not have to change? The Dolphins are trending in the wrong direction.
You did something very good. You did something very sharp, and you pushed it off of FIU Monmouth. I
did?
Yes, you put it.
No, we went to break.
You put it on Taylor. No,
he's been banned.
You went.
The VIPs in the YouTube chat are saying Taylor Rippolis because he's dead to me.
Okay, let's. Taylor's got a countermeasure that he's firing at you because he was already sour about Saturday, Stugotz, because his North Carolina team, led by Coach Mack Brown,
he calls his fans the VIPs.
Yeah, that's Taylor's fan base in the chat. The VIPs.
You didn't know that?
They've turned on him. They're calling Taylor Rippolis the RIPs. They're known as now. Yeah.
His team at the half. He's done with Mack Brown. Stunning that Mack Brown couldn't keep up with NIL. His team was down to James Madison at home, 53-21 at the half.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like a legitimately big favorite, North Carolina, double-digit favorite, down 53-21 at home to a James Madison. Like I think I've watched sports all my life, and I don't think I can give you an example of that happening at halftime of a game. So now Taylor is singing or he's serenading Mack Brown out the door.
Well, I'd fire Mack Brown. Yeah, I'd fire Mack Brown. Watching this team is my personal hell. Yeah, I'd fire Mack Brown.
I don't know why he's employed here.
I'll fire Mack Brown. No, okay.
No.
He went on this cruise for Greg Cody, and you're not wrong, Billy, when you say it was a party for old people.
I apologize. I feel like Greg got some strays, and that was not my intention last segment. I apologize. I would like to apologize.
To who?
I don't know. Someone.
Okay.
The
Greg,
party?
I guess.
The party?
No, Greg.
I will agree that the party deserves.
I was there.
I did see.
No, it was the vibe.
Oh, the vibe was right. Okay.
I did see a video of Jeremy and Yeti performing with Greg. I guess the Hee Haw 3 made a return, and I was like, kind of worked out that I had the FIU game that day.
Well, there were supposed to be 3 or 4 songs that Yeti had prepared, but Greg Cody's a diva, and it was his birthday, and so he just refused. Like, Jeremy was dying to play a whole concert at sea.
Also, Amin pointed this out. It was so on brand of my dad at his 70th to sing to people. It's like usually at your party, people perform.
They sing
you're
to
watching.
you. Yeah.
He's like, it's my party. I'm going to sing.
He's the entertainment.
Most Greg Cody thing ever.
Stugotz, would you be willing to part with your phone for a second to see the exchange between you and Greg Cody on you canceling that you were going to go to what it is that we were doing on Saturday, and then at 2 p.m.? What are you making faces about, Billy?
I have more information on this.
Right. I mean...
I know what happened.
He's trying to help you out.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, you were very eager to go to a phone.
I mean, what am I going to do? Say no 20 years in? You want my phone? You want a private conversation? I'm not going to do that to you. I mean, trying to be a good teammate.
Okay. But Billy's got more information on what's actually happened here. And all I know is that you didn't go to a party you RSVP'd for.
That is fair, yes. And I apologize to Greg and his lovely wife and to the entire Cody family.
But I don't think that anybody was surprised by you RSVPing and then not going. That's what everyone expected. In fact, the surprise there is that you RSVP'd at all.
Yes. Well, Greg responded to me telling him that I'm not going, saying this is the least surprising text I have ever received in my life.
What time was it before the party? Because the point of RSVPing is that they pay for a meal for you.
Yeah, I'll have to make that up to Greg. I don't know how much the meal costs, but I plan on paying for it.
Bullshit.
I sent that at around 2 o'clock.
Yo, chicken time.
You're not going to pay for shit, bro.
It's time stamped. I have the time. Oh, me paying him back.
Yeah, paying him back. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's
for a piece of chicken and some salad.
I'll cook him something. I will.
Still alive.
Sure, something. Julia Child, roasted chicken in a Dutch oven. Sure, you're going to produce it.
Dutch oven?
Huh?
Some pasta?
Crazy.
That's farting under a blanket.
I've got a weekend planned for me and Greg. That's all I can say. And it may or may not include Chris Cody. I mean, I'm not sure yet. See how much it costs.
So Billy didn't go because he was calling FIU football and getting his heart broken by Heisman frontrunner, the Monmouth quarterback.
Yeah, you got to watch out for him. Monmouth quarterback. Derek Robertson, Heisman watch. I put him on Heisman. I'll tell you right now, put him on Heisman watch on God Bless Football. This guy's been incredible. 390 yards, 355 yards, 390 yards, 361 yards. Granted, he's in the FCS, so he probably won't win the Heisman. But if he was in the FBS, Heisman watch.
When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. As Meadowlark Media continues to grow as a content studio, we strive to hire only the best and most qualified candidates. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, they've made it easy for us to find them. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So, if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/prep. That's linkedin.com/prep. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
Now's a good time to remember where the story of tequila started. In 1795, the first tequila distillery was opened by the Cuervo family. And 229 years later, Cuervo is still going strong. Family owned from the start, same family, same land. Now's a good time to enjoy Cuervo, the tequila that invented tequila. Go to Cuervo.com to shop tequila or visit a store near you. Cuervo, now's a good time. Trademarks owned by Becle, SAB The CV, copyright 2024, Próximo. Jersey City, New Jersey, please drink responsibly.